Hello everyone and welcome to Brew Crew, where we connect with our leaders and our partners to get inspired, to get new ideas, to connect. Today I have someone really important and I am very excited to have this guest with me. I am Christina, you know that already, and today my special guest is Mateusz. Welcome Mateusz.
Thank you for having me, Christina.
Here.
Good evening.
Good evening, indeed. Today and right now we are in Novotel. We are preparing for the road show. And here we are filming and talking a bit and sharing with our partners a few ideas, probably.
Absolutely. This is time of the year is usually the most exciting but hectic time of the year for entire leadership team when we are having the last touches, last adjustments for our annual January roadshow. Yeah? So we are looking forward to meeting all the crazy and beautiful people from Starbucks in Romania and Bulgaria tomorrow in Bucharest.
Yes. And maybe from what I've heard, are we the first ones to kick off?
Yes. In this week, we only do the one in Bucharest. So we are the first. We are starting this. Next week, all remaining regions and countries are following.
Oh, okay. So we are the only ones this week, and next week we have the rest of 7 countries, yes?
Exactly.
From AmRest. Okay. Mateusz, just to introduce you as well, you have been instrumental in driving Starbucks growth across our regions. And with the start of new year, now comes new opportunities. So let's start today with you telling us how your years were and what challenges, let's say, you remember for the last 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
It's hard to believe it was 5 years. The time is really flying, and I guess this was similarly, equally challenging as rewarding period of time. And because challenging, because I think those last couple of years, comparing to previous 10, 15 years in entire retail industry, in entire coffee shop industry, was not as rich with different kind of events, external events which were impacting the way we work, the way we lead, but also the way we will live as a regular people who are also commuting every day to work. So we had COVID and all these restrictions coming from that. We have the COVID was followed by hyperinflation, which was making also the life of our customers, but also our lives much more difficult to make the right decision on how to manage this in this high inflationary environment. Then the war in Ukraine started. It was on one hand a big tragedy for Ukraine people. On the other hand, in our entire region, our security measures also have changed, right? And on top of it, we also have economical impact by energy prices going up. And other wars in the world were maybe not impacting us as directly as Ukraine war, but still the world has not been in peace for last 2-3 years, which is very unfortunate, especially for those geographies who are mostly impacted. But for us, it just make our life more difficult. We were laughing with our leadership team that every year is bringing something, right? Every year we told after COVID that this is already finished. There was a second wave, there was a third wave, and similarly with inflation, similarly with economic slowdown or any other geopolitical events. So every year we are starting the year, we are thinking, hey, what will happen this year? Yeah?
Yes.
What we don't know about this year. So that's on this challenging side. On the rewarding side, on the other hand, we have shaped a lot in this difficult environment, right? I am very proud of my leadership team, but also you guys, district managers, store managers, that we have learned new skills, new skill set.
Sure.
We have adjusted very quickly and we put our game on the next level. Secondly, we have grown as well. We have opened dozens of stores in last 3 years. So after this moment of slowdown when pandemic hit us, we actually came back to the growth mode, opening from 20 to 40 stores per year, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And finally, all those efforts we have made in last in those difficult years have also brought some fruits for us, because in 2023 we had by far the best year in the history of our performance. So I am always a believer that when you work hard, when you dream about something, sooner or later the universe is bringing this to you. Yeah. But nothing is really for free. You need to really put your heart into it. And that's what we did with the leadership team. So I'm very proud of the leadership team and all of you where we are today.
Thank you. Change is something that it's incremental in our business anyway. So it is mandatory of all of us to be friends with change, that's for sure, because there's no one day similar to the next one or the same as the next one. So I think from partner to leadership team, everyone is embracing change, and it's a very good thing for us personally and professionally as well, to learn from change and adapt. And I can tell you, I remember I was a store manager in COVID, and that was the time in which I think I had a shift of paradigm, in my own life, because from day to day, we were having changes in what we need to do in stores, in what message we need to send to the customer or to the partners. And you had to keep up with that. There was no if for that. You had to keep up with it. So that's when I learned, and I think we have this shared opinion that period, as hard as it was an opportunity to build us as people and personally to grow, and also for the business. It was an interesting time in which we could reframe maybe some of the things.
I mean, we are living in the world which is changing constantly. Change is the only constant, and we knew it before pandemic. We knew it before all these accelerations, but this is just underlined, strengthened this so much, make it more intensive for us. But as you said, we are. I mean, difficult times are creating great leaders.
Yes.
Easy times are creating weak people. Yeah. So always like in the sports, in training, if you put more effort into your training, not too much effort as well, because you can also overwork yourself when you're working out. This is probably will bring some fruits in the future, and that's when I look around on our operations, on our field management, on even our families and friends, right? Like our life has changed so much by the hybrid work. Our life changed so much by even teenagers being kept outside of school for 1 year, 2 years in some countries, some markets. They were not going to school. They were having online school for 12 months. Yeah, imagine you are 15, 16 years old. You are entering the high school. Like if I come back to my time when I was starting the high school, this was one of the best moments in my life, when I was meeting lots of new friends, socializing, first parties, first dancing, first dates, whatever. Yeah, and they didn't have it for 9 months, a year. Not maybe through an entire year, but for the majority of part of the year they didn't have it. So what kind of impact it will have on all of us, different generations, different professions, it's still unknown, but I guess the world is stronger. We are all stronger because of that, and more open, more ready for the possible future changes as well.
Yes, that's true. And now, speaking about changes, we as a company went through another big change at the last part of last year. And you've had the chance to engage with it for sure more than we did, and even more. You went to Seattle and you've met our new CEO. Brian, let me get his
Brian Nicole. Brian Nicole.
Okay. So during your visit, did you gain any new insights or perspectives from meeting Brian?
First of all, it was great to be back in Seattle, as always. Going to the Pike Place store, seeing the stores, seeing the partner support center. It's always an amazing feeling. I've been doing this second time in this last 5 years. I think they stopped doing it for 1 year or two during pandemic, during the travels were all suspended, but normally they do it every 2 years. All the global licensees, like AmRest is one of the global licensee, are meeting in one place. People from Latin America, Asia, Australia, Europe, we are all meeting in one place. So that's always like a great to reconnect and then meet those people. It's also very much energizing. So we had a very open discussion, very good discussions, very candid. Obviously, the leadership change, Brian Nicole has been appointed just 2 months before, in the middle of September, if I'm not mistaken. And, I guess he's having a very clear plan for the brand. And this plan is also very much associated with our operations in US, because when you travel the world, even in Europe, which is our region in EMEA, so Europe, Middle East and Africa, it has 45 different markets, and each of these markets have some different, coffee traditions, have some different cultures, have some different habits. So even our brand within AmRest in our 8 markets is usually behaving slightly differently, reacting slightly differently to different trends which are happening on that market. Yeah. So Brian announced this back to Starbucks strategy, which is very much located in the US. Yeah. So they will be returning back to convenient bars. They will be returning back to ceramic cups. They will be returning back to having seats in some stores and tables. They will be returning back to reopening toilets for some in many US stores. So they have been not doing many things which we have been doing for all this time, despite all these difficulties. And I think when you are reading the current clippings, global clippings from US, from any global newspapers, which are very often translated into our local newspapers, you need to take into account that when they say Starbucks, very often they mean Starbucks in US, many thousands of stores, big scale, more than half of the company revenues for Starbucks, so big division, and that's when Brian is focusing, and I think he's underlining all those easy steps, simple steps, which are necessary to address. And for us, what we can take from that in AmRest, and Starbucks run by AmRest, is that we definitely will be focusing this year on the 2 things, on customer experience and craftsmanship of our coffee, quality of our coffee. So that's something we also felt on our markets that we have slightly deteriorated, focusing a lot on the cold platform, changing our design into sometimes the colors and the feeling that you would not expect in traditional coffee shop. So we do acknowledge that. We are aware that we also need to focus on our fundamentals. And this is what I'm taking the most for us in our context from this trip to Seattle.
And what excites you most from what you've known of him and his strategy? What is the thing that for you it's having meaning?
I think his simplicity, clarity, and pragmatism, right? He's able to articulate things in a very clear way and a simple way and short way. Which is sometimes necessary when you are dealing with very complex problems, right? Or very complex strategies. Yeah, like Starbucks over those 50 plus years has become a big organization. Yeah, has become a big machine, and has many dimensions. Has many, not only geographically but from the business point of view. So we sometimes are overcomplicating things, right? That's and when you think about it, we are just running a coffee store.
Exactly.
Yeah? Yes. As simple as that. Yes. So coffee, water, milk, something in the pastry case. Obviously, I'm simplifying this. Yeah, there is more behind this. There is POS. There is technology. There is facilities that we need to take care of. Yeah, our furniture, our equipment. So inventory is much more complicated. I don't want to oversimplify it.
Yeah,
but true. What I am meaning by that, and I think what Brian is meaning in the context of US partners, is like, how can we get back to what really matters in Starbucks? Yeah? And what really matters, I call it like a 3 C's. Yeah, to connect on the crafted and high quality coffee. So that's the second C, and the third C is in a convenient way. And this convenience means both that our stores are ready, air conditioning is there, Wi-Fi is working very well, music is on, stores are clean. But convenience also means like this speed. Yeah, like customers also expect to receive their beverage in certain amount of time. That's why they sometimes choose us towards competition, because they know our standard is to deliver this within 3.5 minutes. Yeah, that's probably the average that we are aiming for. So so that's, I think, what's also critical from like taking this simplicity and pragmatism from Brian into our European AmRest markets context.
That's very interesting, and for sure sometimes problems, or maybe all the times problems, are simple, or the solution is simple, but just all this overthinking or all the strategies that we are trying to get to the simple response, that's the hard part and the overcomplicated. But it's really interesting, and I think overall in our market, from my discussions, the initial impression of what we've received after the new CEO, it was a very good response to it. Mainly because of the simplicity. So it's very well translated and quite a very clear message to understand what's
There is a story which now came to me. You know that AmRest has entered Romania, Bulgaria, Starbucks Romania, Bulgaria in 2015. And I had this pleasure to be here from the very beginning, from day one. And I remember few months later, it was June 2015 when we took over the business. A few months later, one of my colleagues he was at that time a finance director for a big part of Europe, Central Eastern Europe. And he arrived to Bucharest, and we were like discussing later on after his first, let's say, impressions in our Starbucks stores in Bucharest. He said, "Hey, our partners, our Romanian partners, our partners in Bucharest, they are like much more like a quicker, efficient. They just you know, no wonder they have such much more volumes, much more transactions than our Polish business has," because he came from Poland, from Wrocław, right? Because in Poland they have this tendency, you know, Mateusz, to overtalk, to like discuss this, discuss that. Where I am, you know, I have my break, I have my lunch break, I need to run. So it's good to have a chat, but I think in Romania they are balancing this much better. So this, you know, hey, this is your toffee nut latte for you, Christina. And you know, like also like not forgetting about touching on you know how was your day, or you know, like what a beautiful day we have today, and even having longer conversation. So it struck me at that time. I said, hey, what are we doing wrong in Poland at that time, right? Are we maybe overcomplicating this? Do we want to deliver this connect and over talk those customers? They don't expecting that, right? So why we are doing this? And I think is just what you said, yeah. Like always have this ability to you know, step aside and observe things from distance and say, hey, where my store, where my city in terms of this customer experience, what I'm missing today? Is the music too loud? Yeah. Are we having our patio is maybe not maintained because of this crazy weather right now, wind, etc., etc. Or maybe my partners need some additional training because, you know, I didn't really like set them up for success as a shift manager or as a store manager, right? So, so always, I mean, one size doesn't fit all. There's always different answers for different stores, and only through our leaders in the stores we can deliver this beautiful experience. So there is no one golden recipe, but we know what we expect to do. We just need to find a way, shift after shift, to make it happen. Yeah?
Yes. And from the leadership team, from the new CEO of the company, we need, with all those messages, we need to reach the partners and then to reach the customer. And we do it only if every piece of this chain is getting the message and is believing in the message and it's doing the right things. And now we have a new message as well, right? To believe in, and Brian has come up with a new mission for us. So now we are the purveyors, yes, for the coffee business and coffee industry. But at the same time, we keep nurturing the human spirit through coffee. So what? From your perspective, how do these global initiatives and our refreshed mission reflect on our region?
It is just reinforcing the message that we need to come back to what we are famous for, what we stand for. Yeah. So this new wording of the mission, which you have just nicely brought here, is actually combining two old wordings. Yeah, the one wording is actually the very first mission of Starbucks
1990,
in 1990,
right?
Which is underlining the quality of the coffee, the process which is behind it, the selection of the beans, the cooperation with the coffee farmers all around the world, the standards which Starbucks was historically introducing to many coffee regions in the world, right? And that's what we really want to stand for. We are a coffee brand. We are a coffee business, yeah, and we are proud of it, and we are able to deliver this in a very nice and crafted way every time. And the second part is actually this not so long time ago we still were following this mission of inspiring and nurturing human being, one cup, one person, one neighborhood at a time. So I think all of us are still remembering this very well, and this is underlining that we are about community, about connection, about customer experience. And coffee is just a wonderful pretext to connect with another human being, right? So I think that's what Brian really meant by that. Yeah. Brian also, when I was in Seattle, he was underlying the importance of a Starbucks coffee company. Starbucks coffee company. This is another way to describe the role that we are in. So coffee, like I mentioned, the highest quality coffee, the finest coffee in the world. Very simple, right? And the second, company. Yeah? So we are about connecting with other people. We are about creating these local communities to inspire and nurture the human spirit, right? So he was trying to nicely simplify this even to this Starbucks coffee company, which he's repeating a lot as well.
Yeah, and it's very good the way it's combining this historical roots, because some of our partners that are in the company for a longer period of time, they reacted in a very nice
very positive way.
Yeah. Yes, because that is rooting into what brought them to the company. And for me, very valuable are the values that we changed already, but now we kept them. So when they were changed, it was really something that resonated with me a lot, and I think they were very well received as well. So maybe for everyone, these messages and the mission and the values are things that we connect through, and this one is really encapsulating like older generation of partners with newer generations.
Absolutely, I agree. I am not surprised that the receivement of this new statement is so positive. Yeah.
Yes.
So looking forward to the future.
Yeah, me too. And also to share it with the partners, because now we are just a few days maybe after actually officially sharing
it's great timing as well, because we start these roadshows tomorrow, and they announced it just a few days ago on Friday. So looking forward. We have another entire section tomorrow on that.
Yes. So we will be hearing even more about it. Okay, so I think we've went through a bit of the strategy of this year as well. So our focus will be on craft and on connection and on consistency, because that's very important as well. But would there be something else that you want to mention about our direction for this year?
I think just make it simple and really focus on what matters. And what matters is customers and the experience they have in our stores, right? And I'm saying this in one sentence, in one breath, and it sounds super easy, but we know it's not so easy, right?
Yes.
It starts from proper planning, it starts from proper preparations, it starts from your team, first of all, how your team is ready. When you are leading a store, when you're leading a district, how your team is ready to deliver this experience. So I'm a little bit simplifying that, but we have made some steps already last year into preparing for this year. I mean, first of all, it was not visible yet last year, but starting from this winter promo, we have simplified the menu, right? We have realized the menu has become really much complex, and especially the LTOs, the promo products. What we have done last year was too much. We have doubled the number of LTOs, which is not only increase the complexity for ourselves, for our operations, for our partners, but even for customers. They were a little bit confused. What exactly are we communicating? What should I choose? I'm lost. I'm leaving. so that should help. Additionally, we have introduced deployment to zero, so our new way of running the shift of the new roles, and this should enhance, and we have this feedback already from many partners and many customers that this is like helping us to be more for the customers and be there when they need us, more often.
Also, I would say metro bars and a few operational
New serving standards, I wanted to mention. Like this is the completely new way of serving your coffee and food together, and I've seen so much good positive feedback about it. We have been waiting for this for a long, because I was hoping this to receive it quicker, but finally we have it, and that also should help us to drive better experience this year. Digital menu boards, they not directly impact this experience, but there is lots of research said that our stores look more friendly, more welcoming, more exciting, intriguing when this communication we have on the menu boards is more interactive, right? So, but we can also use them in different times of the day, like for the peak times, for example, or different peak days during the week. We can actually change the content and also drive the excitement in that way. And lastly, more than half of our total amount of our stores have today new cloud POS and printers, and those printers are also, we know, accelerating the way we are serving with the customers, making this our work more accurate. That we don't confuse anymore the orders. And this should also enhance the experience. This year we are launching this in Hungary and Poland, the last major markets to launch this before we go to smaller markets like Slovakia, Serbia, Bulgaria. But Romania has it, Czechia has it, and Germany has it already. So lots of things we have done already, but all these tools and processes and whatever we are introducing, technology, will be nothing if this human factor is not there. So I always underline the leadership of our store managers and the partners. This is the most critical, to use all those things, tactics to make it really fruitful for our customers.
Yes, and many of these changes, as you said, were implemented last year, at least in Romania. We had a few of them in the same year, and some of them take time to master, to adopt, and also for people to get accustomed to them and to get to be good at them and use them more and more in their advantage. So even about the digital menu boards, we are still learning of how best we can use them.
Making lots of tests,
yes, exactly. So some things take some time to see the consequences. So I would think and I believe that after a year, we will be picking even more fruits from the implementations that we've
absolutely. But let me use this opportunity to also thank to all our RST and supporting teams, because this digital menu boards is a great example of project which we did just in 1 year. Can you imagine? We have implemented those. Usually it's like from 5 to 6 screens in every store. Very different store, very different history of those stores, very different design, low ceiling, high ceiling, shopping mall, or high street location. But our development team, together with maintenance team and technological team, they did really went extra mile to have it done, because the goal was to finish it by end of last year. and we did it. We did
Yes.
all the stores that we could do. Some exceptions left for January, February, the renovations which we were planning anyway. But I remember one of my leadership team member, it was Grzegorz, running Czechia and Slovakia. When we were starting 2024, he said, "Hey guys, we are going to finish this year having printers in stores, new cloud POS, digital menu boards. That's both for Czechia and for Slovakia. And this is going to be a totally different store to operate, right?
Yes.
And that's something also we need to get ready. But how exciting it is at the same time as well, yeah? So lots of changes, and I'm super proud that how the team is adopting to that.
Yeah, and the store teams as well.
Absolutely.
All these changes for them are, again, like talking about changes, they are coming straight on in their daily work, and
their role is fundamental, yeah, in everything what we are doing, what we are changing. For like this great example of digital menu boards, when we had first stores being done, they were the ones which were transferring to us the feedback that they get from either directly from customers or by observing those customers who sometimes, we were making those transitions, we call it transitions, too quickly, or too many of them. So when you were looking for your favorite beverage, or where you wanted to get inspired what I want to have today, when you were average customer, you couldn't really manage to do it on time, right?
Yes.
And very quickly we were adjusting this, testing the other transition. At the end, we have frozen the main 2, sometimes 3 screens in one in store, so they are not changing at all. But that's why our partners, our shift managers, store managers, you guys are the closest to the customers, and we can only do things, change things, improve things with you. Otherwise, it would be never possible. So thank you once again to both teams, the operations and RST.
Yes, because together we do everything in the end. This connection between the two parts. So before we wrap up, I'd like to end with a personal note. You've had such a dynamic journey leading Starbucks across our region. What has been the most rewarding part of leading Starbucks inside AmRest? How has your journey inspired you both personally and professionally?
Well, first of all, I need to thank to my family, my wife, my daughters. I always repeat to her that I would not be halfway where I am today. The things which we are doing together in life, also traveling the world, living in different places, thanks to Starbucks, thanks to AmRest, if not for her. So she's the main fundament for everything what we are doing. And my daughters, since the time when I was living here in Romania, they now grown up. One of them is already adult. Second will be adults very soon. So I'm very proud of them, very proud watching them and seeing how they are dealing with this complex world in a very, very good way, right? And how they are becoming great human beings, great individuals for the future. So that makes me, this private side, those of you who know me slightly better, you know how I'm charging my batteries, right? I have this personality that I like to have things fixed at home first before I can focus on something else outside of home, and that's the way I'm going through this life. Yeah. So I'm very, very appreciate that, and that's what makes me, gives me this energy and motivation every day to go to change the world and to continue, right?
I'm sure they are very proud of you as well.
Oh, yes, probably yes. Although they will never admit that, but you know how it is with teenagers, right? They never tell you exactly what they think.
Yes.
They learn the tricks which we adults have developed very well. So
if they gave you the support, that's how they showed their appreciation.
No, but they are doing fantastically, and I'm really proud of them, admire them a lot. On the professional side, again, the people, the team. I mean, I could mention, my leadership team, and each of them. We have great market directors. We have great function leaders. You probably know some of them, or maybe all of them. And I'm really proud how they have been changing, stepping up, taking these new challenges. Sometimes changing the roles, moving to the new countries, taking another challenges as well. and we, by adding 200 stores in 5 years, we are growing by more than 60-70%. So I always repeat that I need to prepare myself for this different scale, different stage of the business. And we all need to do that, right? Every function. So starting from them, but also, you have been a store manager not so long time ago. Now you are organizing this interview with me as a district manager for last couple of years. You have opened so many stores already. There is lots of stories like you, which makes me even prouder. And I just was realizing today in the hotel lobby that there is less and less faces I can recognize in Romania, because all the also old faces are now having different roles, leadership roles, and that's really amazing. Every year we are opening dozens of stores. We are growing close to 200 new leaders, just on the store level and district level. So that's amazing opportunity, for how much talent we are growing. And we are not going to stop. Next 2-3 years, we will continue to do that. So that's maybe an opportunity for you as well. Yeah. So long story short, I like seeing the growth of people is what gives me the biggest satisfaction. And business is just nice polygon, nice pretext to grow, to develop, because we are being checked, day by day, week by week. Our customers are voting on us or not voting on us, depending on how good we are doing. So that's a great environment to be in. Retail is in general a great environment. We are in the people business. You need to have lots of good people skills, leadership skills to be successful here. That's what we are teaching as well. How many companies are teaching those things? Not many. Soft skills, and that's the fun place to be. So that's what brings me the biggest joy at the end.
And coffee?
Coffee, of course. I'm planning my origin trip this year to Rwanda, right? So I am refreshing my coffee master knowledge. I was just chatting with Pecia last week. Hey, what is the current program? How could I enroll? And thanks God it's digital, so I can do everything from all around the world almost. Yes. And I'm looking forward to. I think I know about coffee something after being 12 years with the brand.
I'm sure.
But I'm looking forward to the trip. Everyone who is coming back from this origin trip is coming back changed. So I think I'll be also slightly changed at least.
Yeah.
And that gives me also lots of having every year something which is new, which you need to learn or maybe refresh, like in the case of the coffee master knowledge, is the way also to be happy, right? And not only to continue your brain to operate at some level, when you are getting older, Christina, not you, but me, but also to have this stimulus, right? To have this impulse on top of your maybe normal, let's say, duties, normal life, like what is going to keep you, and it doesn't need to be on annual basis. It can be longer goal. It can be 2 years, 3 years, doesn't matter. But finding this is important for my personal batteries that is helping me to charge them and to move forward, right, as well.
Yes, and also you mentioning that the origin trip, it's another opportunity.
Absolutely.
Massive opportunity for our partners to go and see Rwanda and to see how coffee is growing.
We will know next week how many people will send it this year, but last year we had a record high, 8 tickets, 8 markets we have in AmRest, and you could send a person for every market. Because normally it was a half of it, right? So it was a great opportunity. Big thank you to Starbucks EMEA and the leadership team. But that's an amazing opportunity. People are, it's a life experience. People are remembering this for a lot. They are coming back. They are sharing their experience, and I'm looking forward. I've been 12 years with Starbucks. It's a high moment for me to do that. My leadership is forcing me to go, so I'm going.
Yes.
I'm going. I just don't want to take any of the tickets. I will go on with extra tickets. So don't worry. Don't worry. I will not take from the pool which our partners, our baristas can use every year.
Yes. Well, enjoy it. And for sure, that's gonna elevate your speech that you are always sending to us. So I'm looking forward to meet you after that as well. But now, thank you for being here today and sharing with us your vision and some information about yourself and your family, and of course, a bit of a direction for this year. And thank you as well for being in Seattle and sharing with us as well that story, because this is a nice line drawn between the origin of Starbucks and us today in Romania, but of course in our market. Thank you very much for being here with me and of course with our partners.
Thank you, Christina, for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for watching us. There's another special episode. I've been doing these special episodes lately with Leo and Patrick, and now with you. And I hope that you all enjoy it and have a good year. Thank you. Yay!
Yeah, we did it the first time. No interruptions.